Y'all know I like to do my news stories, okay? Y'all know it can't really be a quick chat if we do not get into the news, period. So let's see what this lady over here talking about dragging this baby across the floor.
It's video that's undeniably hard to watch. A police report confirms this River Trail School substitute teacher dragged 7-year-old Nova Ivy.
Literally, I was shaking. I couldn't believe it.
Nova's mother, Tatiana, says she saw the video for the first time last week, despite the incident happening back in November. That's why she says she contacted me.
How else am I going to be heard?
You don't feel like they're doing enough?
They're not doing their job at all.
It all started on the playground. It's hard to see because the video is blurred, but you can see the teacher grab Nova out of line. Nova then hits the teacher and they disappear inside. The next video, which was given to Tatiana by MPS, shows Nova being dragged on the floor of the school.
I just feel like this is something that's truly trying to be swept under the rug. They only gave me part of the footage. There's a very vital part of the footage from the coat room.
That coat room, Tatiana says, is in between the playground and classroom. A police report of the incident states Nova threw a ball on the ground, which allegedly hit the teacher. The teacher then grabs her arm, pulls her inside, and drags Nova through the school by her arm. The report states the teacher was a substitute hired by a third-party agency, which MPS confirmed is Goodwill Talent Bridge. The detective says he's tried contacting Talent Bridge to identify the teacher, but never got a response. That was back in December. Last week, Tatiana says she spoke with the detective again.
He informed me that Goodwill Talent Bridge has still not gotten back with him to confirm the identity of the person.
We called Talent Bridge Wednesday and haven't heard back. MPS confirmed that teacher's last day of employment was the day of this shocking video.
She know that she's not supposed to be dragging somebody else's kid.
I won't stop advocating for my daughter. We are going to get justice. I don't care how long it takes. Milwaukee Police Department, please assist me. Please assist me.
In Milwaukee, Jenna Ray, TMJ4 News. It's video that's
all right, y'all. So I got a few things. One, in my personal, for me, unless, and y'all tell me now, unless you're like maybe in high school or something, because I feel like you about on that level just a little piece, I don't think teachers should be touching kids in that way. Even dragging them across the ground. I really don't care what they did, honestly. And maybe it just depends. Like, I can't really think of a situation. I mean, if they're in junior high school trying to square up with a teacher, I mean, the teacher probably is going to fight that back. Some of these junior high kids be big as hell, right? But at the same time, in this particular situation with this little girl, number one, little mama, what's going on at home? Okay? Because that's the first thing we not finna do. All right? When I say keep your hands to yourself, that's what I mean. Okay? Somebody putting their hands on you, whatever, go tell the teacher. You got to get a warnings before. Okay? You got to let them know. You got to warn them before the lightning strike. You got to let them know. All right? When it comes to other kids. But it does make me feel just a little bit, if you are okay with just hitting on a teacher, then what you be doing to your mama? Right? So I don't support that. So as much as you're advocating and having justice for your daughter, make sure that you're having the proper conversations with your daughter, that I'm like, you still did wrong in this situation. Now, that does not mean that anybody has the right to drag you across the floor, because as an adult and a substitute at that, whether it's a substitute or a teacher, you should know how to handle somebody else's child. Right? You know, back in the day when they used to paddle kids, they had to get permission to paddle you. They couldn't just paddle you, and maybe some schools did that, but they couldn't just paddle you. They have to get permission for that. So for you to even think that you could drag somebody, child, like I am on your ass, okay? I'm on your ass first. Understand that. And we're going to have this conversation, because you need to also know what you did wrong in this situation. Because but my mama was quick. Let me know you don't run that up in here. Okay? It really was given. Do you pay any bills up in this mother? Do you fix anything around here? When's the last time? Okay? It was very much so giving Jody mama. All right? So I knew how to act. I may roll a little piece of net, girl, but I was never finna swing on them. You know? So yeah, I don't agree with that. I mean, she did lose her job. I don't know if that's considered assault on a child or whether I don't know. I'm interested in knowing how the police see this situation. If they feel like this is a case they would take on and go and press charges on her. Because I do feel like, yo, if you did drag this baby, then hey, how you treating the other kids too though? Right? And if you can't handle her because she getting out of control, you couldn't call to the office and have them send somebody down. They used to stay doing that in school back in the day. Miss Peterson, can you send the guidance counselor down? Yes, I have a disruptive child in my classroom, Monte. Yes. Can you send? He'll be standing outside the door. Okay. So, child. Baby, I told y'all about that time. Now, when I was in junior high, I had thought I was a little piece of bad. I did snap on that substitute, though. I told y'all about that when she had spilled that coffee all over my teacher desk. And we all was like, ooh. She was like, shut up. I'm like, girl, I don't know who you talking to. My mama don't even talk to me like that. Like, okay, my mama will get in my ass, but she not gonna be like, no, shut up. Like, who? And even if she did, she the only one that can do it, ma'am. I'm sorry, okay? Okay, don't talk to me like that. All right. So we had an exchange of words, and she sent me to the office, baby. When my teacher got to the when my teacher got to the class, baby, when I tell you, you would have thought she was like, she wasn't like my grandmother's age, but I think she was like in between my grandma and my mama's age or whatever. But baby, the way she listened, my teacher gave me that conversation, Miss Ann, that's what her name was. Tight lip. And you know when a parent talking to you tight lip, that means you better tighten up. Don't you ever come to this classroom and hit it to the set up here. Yo, baby. Oh, yeah, she got me. All right, I was going to be about that life with her too, but I realized I had to see this hoe every day. Okay, girl, I was just, but we grow up. We grow up. You know what I'm saying? We grow up. All right. I didn't get in trouble though. I don't know where I went. After I went to the office, I don't know what happened. I think I just chilled around the office until my next period, and I went to my next class. Like, okay. Bitch. But anywho, honey, let's keep going. Y'all learn how to act up here in these classrooms. Okay, because let me tell you another thing they used to do back in the day that they may not do no more. They whoop your ass in the class. I was in 4th grade when this boy Jonathan got pulled to the front of the class and got that ass whacked. Okay, mama bit him right over the knee. Okay, understand. Lay straight. Okay, y'all know them little metal or whatever fold out chairs. The ones that be real cold if you got shorts on when you sit down. Yes, ma'am. Okay, she sat down, pulled them over there, and waka. She sure did. Yes, she did. I was shook. I said, girl, I can't believe this happened. Not in class. What's going on? Woo, honey. It made me feel like I don't ever want to mess up either. Oh, is my mama going to do that to me? What's happening? Crazy. All right. That was a lesson learned for Jonathan ass in the class, wasn't it? I can't. But anywho, child, let's keep going. Let's see what else they talking about over here.
Pulling the plug on her own mother who was on life support. It happened at North Shore Medical Center in Northwest Miami-Dade.
ABC6 reporter Amanda Placencia has more on what happened by the victim's hospital bedside.
While police say that this nurse tried to take matters into her own hands to stop her mother's suffering, the act got her arrested. Juancette Green has been a licensed nurse in Florida for over 20 years, but now she's out of the hospital and in jail. The 54-year-old is accused of killing her own mother, who was on life support.
In this case, Ms. Green, you've been charged with felony of the first-degree manslaughter and aggravated elderly disabled adult.
According to the arrest report, it all started on May 5th when Green's mother was admitted to North Shore Medical Center with shortness of breath. Her health quickly started to deteriorate, and she was eventually transferred to the ICU where she was intubated. Then last Friday, Green went to the hospital with her son and daughter. While in the room, she allegedly said, quote, "I'm pulling out," and then removed the intubation that was keeping her mother alive. An alarm went off, and then medical teams rushed in to try to resuscitate the victim. Police say Green kept telling the staff to stop and that she wanted her mom to go in peace. Her mother died a short time later. Green left the hospital before police arrived, but was later arrested at her home for the act. She appeared in front of a judge on Monday.
court finds probable cause in this case.
A spokesperson for the Healthcare Systems of America says the nurse is not an employee at North Shore Medical Center. A previous version of the story named the wrong hospital group. Healthcare Systems of America says they are working with authorities during this investigation. Green remains in jail where she is being held without bond. She will appear in front of a judge again next Monday.
A nurse is accused of pulling.
Miss Green, what you got going on? Now listen, I know what she got going on, all right? That's her mama, right? Her mother was in pain. But ma'am, I'm glad I won't be on the jury, because right out the gate of hearing this story, you guilty. Lock her up. Lock her up. I'm sorry. I have reason to feel like you just wanted to commit murder. That's just my personal, okay? Because if she's on life support, don't you or who gets to at least say, we're going to go ahead and take her off life support? I just felt like that could have been a conversation with the doctor, but you wanted to take it to your own hands, and then you walked your ass into somebody else's hospital doing what it is you want to do. Now you walking down into somebody else's jail. Can't even go to the funeral unless you get a piece of bail. That's crazy. And then now that you done clapped your mama, whatever you thought you was finna get in insurance, it ain't coming. You ain't getting it. Use the problem. That's insane. I couldn't. I hear so many stories of people's family members being on life support and how they just want to keep them here forever. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, we're going to get into one of those stories, right? And not that they really trying to keep this woman here forever, but I'm going to bring that one up. Okay. So I think it's over here. So we'll go back up to it. But I'm just not used to hearing that. I'm used to people having to make the tough decision to have the plug pulled on their family. And for you to do that and then just casually walk your ass out and go home, ma'am, that might be a piece of premeditated murder, okay? And you walked in there with an intent and a goal in mind. I personally feel like you stayed there until you saw her flatline. And then you just slowly tiptoed right on out. You're going down, ma'am. And this is crazy at your big 54-year-old age. It is. And I kind of, it depends on how her defense team set it up, because it might be just like a real sympathy thing where, oh my God, she was just, in so much pain right along with her mom. And she decided to, go ahead and free her of her misery. How many people wouldn't want to, free their family members of their misery? And I'm sure a whole lot of them, but at the same time, there is a protocol. There is a process that's in place for that. And I think she should have took it that route, because now you're responsible for your mother's death. And I wouldn't even want that type of on my hands. You know what I'm saying? And then now you got to do jail time with it. Like, it's a bit disappointing to hear, honey. Okay? Very disappointing. But as we speak on that, let me go back up, because there was this story here in Georgia of this, let me see. I don't think I saved it here. Hold on, y'all. I want to make sure that I save it. All right, let me refresh and see. Okay, yeah. So it's this mom who is brain dead, y'all. And I don't really know how to feel about this, because they are keeping her alive for her child to be born. And that's also connected to the whole abortion ban and all of that. So let's just check this out.
It's been nearly 3 years since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, and the ripple effects continue across the country. Most recently in Georgia, where NPR has been reporting on a brain-dead pregnant woman, Adriana Smith, who has been kept on life support for 3 months to allow enough time for her baby to be born. A move, according to the woman's family, that is required by the hospital in order to comply with the state's strict anti-abortion laws. The family has said it is in an impossible situation, with the woman's due date still months away, and the family concerned if the baby will have disabilities or can even survive. Here's what Adriana's mom told one of our NBC affiliates.
She's pregnant with my grandson, but my grandson may be blind, may not be able to walk, wheelchair bound. We don't know if he'll live once she has him. And I'm not saying that we would have chose to terminate her pregnancy. What I'm saying is we should have had a choice.
When you look at the state and look at what these local legislators are doing in Georgia, at a state-by-state level, these legislators have power to make change. And I think when you look at medical health professionals and the fear that they are under, they don't know what the right thing to do is, and they don't want to be prosecuted. And you have right now doctors in Georgia who are making decisions about this woman, Adriana, because they're afraid of what the law might be. And I think the only way to change those laws is state by state, because at a federal level, at this point in time.
Well, and Lord knows how many stories we're going to have with these states that have the strict bans, that have horrific stories happening right now. We talked about them in the run-up to the election, but women, having to make horrendous choices or not being given a choice and being sterilized or left in a situation where they have to give birth to a baby that then dies moments later. I mean,
they're almost dying themselves in the process.
Exactly, and their lives are in danger because of these strict bans. So I think it will be a hot topic in the next election.
Sure.
Hopefully it'll make a difference.
I'm sorry. That's a bit of that is absolutely disgusting to me. That you got. I mean, I don't know why it makes me feel like how they would operate on black bodies in a sense. Like back in the day, it's like y'all literally keeping. She's technically dead. If she's brain dead, I'm willing to believe she's technically dead. And you're keeping this dead woman alive to bring forth a baby that y'all don't even know what's going to happen with the child. And then now this child has to exist in this world without their parent. And I just hate how decisions were made on women's bodies primarily, okay, by a bunch of fucking men that will never know, never experience it, and by a bunch of older women that don't plan to ever have children again. And they didn't even take into consideration their own family members, right? Their own daughters or whatever the case is. And then they didn't take into consideration the different type of situations that go on with the woman's body. Y'all were so just focused on pro-life and just bringing a life into this world. And then the crazy thing is y'all barely want to give people resources for real, especially if they have a child that may have a disability in some capacity, okay? Whether it's mentally, physically, whatever it is, y'all really don't be trying to show up for them folks for real. But y'all want to show up and make sure the taxpayers and stuff pay their money and this and that, and y'all over there dipping into the pie, taking out what you want, but not using it for the that y'all supposed to be using it for. Like, it's very disappointing. And I do hope, even though, Americans love punishment. They are gluttons for punishment. They enjoy it so fucking much. And I would hope that over these next few years, they see a lot of that they don't like, and they vote for what is going to be in the best favor for everyone. However, it depends on where they are on that. Because a lot of these people that's on that side with the abortion ban and all of that, they over there thinking this is what's best for everyone, when it's not. It's not. And I don't even feel like people within the states are doing enough to change anything for real. And honestly, I feel like Georgia may have changed it, because I feel like it was like 4 weeks at first. Then they changed it to 6 weeks to give people more time, because some women don't even know they pregnant at the 4 week range, right? Or some may just find out at that 4 week, right? So when different productions that were supposed to come to Georgia start saying, hell no, we're not going there because of y'all decision, then they tried to be like, let us give y'all 2 more weeks to figure it out. You want to come back so we can get a little bit of that coin up off y'all? You want to come back and film down here? Child, it's sad. And let me say, Governor Kemp, I don't think he running for governor again. Baby, let me say, I don't even blame that man, okay? And he not my fave either. But child, I do not. But I think they wanted him to run for Senate. That man said, fuck all of that. Fuck that shit. I'm not, fuck you. That's what it's giving to me. Like, I've done my time and I'm getting the hell on. I know that right. But it's sad. Very sad, and she's not here, to make any decisions for herself. And even if she could, she couldn't. Even if she could, she couldn't. And that is so sad, that you could be pregnant, and it's so dangerous. And because so many women have these babies, I don't think people really understand how dangerous it is to bring life into this world. And if her child is threatening her life in a sense, like if you have this baby, you know, chances are your heart can start, this could happen, she got to still move forward with that. And then it's on the doctors, because they ain't really going to help the doctors either, but it's on y'all to figure out what's going to be best for her. What other procedures can you guys do to make sure that she's delivered, you know, the baby's delivered safely and she's here too. Like, child, and it's crazy. And this the other thing for me, this whole thing, girl. It's the fact that also a lot of these Senate people and the politicians and stuff, these folks make decisions, and that's not even their motherfucking field. Okay, I saw that. I saw Marjorie was trying to run for Georgia Senate, but you know, girl, they had a Cobb County meeting, and when I tell you that BIT, oh, everybody come, ask questions, baby, them folks got down there, asked a question, that whole had them folks put out. She just a fake ass woman, just fake. Okay, just fake as hell. But you know, back to the politicians. They sit up there and you don't even work in the medical field like that at all, Bookie do. Like, you don't even work in that field. You do not have to wake up. First of all, you didn't study like that. You didn't have to wake up and go to sleep to figuring out the best care for your patients and whatever else. And y'all got to make the decision. I feel like they should have seeked out the top doctors in each state, potentially, maybe in Georgia, and get some advice on how they should handle the quote unquote abortion ban thing. So they could have got additional insight. But you know, people like to make decisions, make laws and all of that without consulting people that actually operate in that space on a day-to-day basis, and literally has made it so much of their life, right? Paid for this, got debt for this. It's crazy how this works. Somebody asked, girl, do you hear what I say? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Who is paying the medical bill? That's insane. Who's paying that? They better not bill it to her mama. They better not bill it to her mama. Okay? And let me tell you, whoever signed off on the paperwork that says you're the person in charge or whatever the case is, baby, they probably gonna get your name, your address, and start sending the bill over there to you. So I don't know who's listed as that point of contact or whatever the case is, whatever document they sign, but it's probably going to go to them. And the moment that it would come to me, bankruptcy, think it's a game. Bankrupt, nope, because I never, and matter of fact, let me sue y'all for paying and suffering and then turning around and sending me a bill. Okay? And then y'all putting this woman in a compromising position, because my thing is if the baby does come out with any physical disability, is the daddy even going to want the child? Or is the child going to be left for the grandmother to be the one to have to take care of this child? I feel like that is so unfair to a host of people. And let's be very clear, folks are not out here adopting disabled kids. Okay, the most you're going to get past them is autism. Or on the spectrum, as some would say. So that's just so unfair. That's unfair. That's not fair. And I feel like people need to get sued, period. Yeah, so that's that. Those are my thoughts on that. Is there anything else we have with the oh, this lady. What you talking about over here?
Exclusive. A mother is outraged after she says a middle school teacher used corporal punishment on her daughter.
This incident allegedly happened at Sousa Middle School in the district. Melanie this morning is live in Northwest D.C. with the story. Morning, Mel.
Hey, good morning. So Sousa's principal confirmed that the investigation is happening in a letter that was sent out to the school community, to school parents. And we should be clear that these are just allegations at this point. The 14-year-old 8th grader said she was washing her hands after a science project. It was 3:15 Tuesday. The bell rang. Then the teacher allegedly swatted her bottom with a 3-foot yardstick to move her along. The student reported it to the school counselor. DCPS is investigating this as an act of corporal punishment. Now, her mother tells Fox 5 there have been other allegations of inappropriate conduct by the teacher, and she's very upset.
Devastated, hurt, furious, and kind of scared. I wanted to press charges, for one, and get a report so I can have something done and justice done for what he's doing to these children in the school.
Now, in that letter Principal said she's unable to provide further details as these allegations are being investigated, going on to confirm that the staff member is out of the building on leave and will not report while this matter is under review.
My thing is, one, how hard did he hit her? Oops. And two, I feel like teachers probably did that back in the day. Tap, tap with the ruler. Go ahead on now. Go now. Go now. But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, it's a little different, but I wonder how hard he hit her. But then also, what's wrong with just saying, all right, wrap it up. Wrap it up. Wash your hands too long. Come on, come on, come on. We got other students. Like, what's wrong with doing that? Do you have to walk around and pop people? Okay, and then you got other stories about this person and their actions as a teacher. But it wasn't until this mama decided to, make it a bigger deal that y'all decided to put the person on leave. Woo, honey. Y'all be letting the teachers sometimes get away with too much like some of these kids do. I don't know what y'all need in the school system. I don't know what y'all need. But, yeah, you definitely got to be careful nowadays. But good luck. Good luck to the people.